Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry. What's your thoughts on that fight?
I don't even think it's remotely close. Very easy matchup for Islam.
Really?
Dude, he's gonna take Ian Garry down, and that's it. That's the end of it. Like it's not even remotely close.
Really interesting.
Like genuinely, I don't think it's even a little bit close. Look what he did to JDM.
Yeah, but
JDM has better takedown defense than Ian does.
But JDM does not run on his bike like Ian Garry does. Ian Garry will be very difficult to track down.
His legs are also twice as long, so it's a lot of leg to grab.
It'll be very difficult, I think, in the beginning to try. I'm not sure. This is my concern.
You look at Khabib, and Khabib was just dominant at grappling. Islam's the exact same, probably more clean when it comes to his grappling. Not the same dog pressure that Khabib has. And when you look at Islam on the feet, I mean, dude, he can crack. So I think he makes the welterweight division even more fun. And it would and I have nothing but respect for the man. But I'm someone who wants to test myself against the best in the world, and I would love to test myself against them.
Who do you think is going to win the fight?
But I think the favorite, is Makhachev, and I think he's gonna win. But I really think Ian have some skills to beat Islam. He can beat Islam. He have a real chance to beat Islam. And I want him to win, and then we can do a rematch for the belt. Would be amazing.
Yeah, because you have that history with him. Which fight excites you more? Getting the rematch against Ian, or trying to be the one to beat Islam?
Beat Islam it would be huge in my career because he's #1 pound for pound. But I still have some business to do with Ian. So I think I would like to fight Ian, but don't matter who gets the win, I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna fight for the belt against the winner, and I'm gonna bring the.
If Ian has chances, you mean to beat Islam?
Yeah.
It's a fight business. Everyone has chances. Everyone, and especially someone like Ian. He's been able to collect a lot of experience during his run in the UFC, and why not? I see him with a lot of chances.
I've lost my mind! As an MMA analyst, I've lost my fucking mind this year. I've never felt happier about UFC results that I've felt dumber about. I'm supposed to be the fucking MMA guru, dude. And I've been made to look like a fucking fool in these prediction videos. And I just know, because this is how it always fucking works, dude. I just know that the second I start picking the underdogs, all of a sudden, Makhachev just fucking dominant. How could you pick Ian Garry? Like we ain't seen the recent events that we've seen. I'm going to go with Ian Garry, dude. I think he's going to be too elusive on the feet. I don't think Makhachev's going to be able to kick at range against him and do that effectively. And I think it's big danger for Makhachev on the feet, man. At range, listen, against JDM's the same size as Makhachev. Maybe a slight bit taller than him, but they're about the same frame, same size. Makhachev went to the legs of JDM, knowing that he was going to have that stance. And we've seen that, JDM's low kick defense isn't what it's all cracked up to be. So that was kind of like in hindsight now we know when it comes to Makhachev against JDM. And he had been taken down by Gilbert Burns, but he had a broken arm, but all good. We don't see Ian Garry spending too much time on bottom position, and if he does, he survives and he makes the adjustment.
Islam is something special. He only needs to get him down once.
Islam Makhachev looks like Ian Garry potentially is getting that shot. How do you think that goes?
Striking wise, I don't believe he's gonna be able to deal with Ian, but it's the grappling element. I think he only needs to get him down once. He's a difficult guy to get down, to be fair. If he can figure out that not being submitted off his back, how to get back up, maybe those things kind of go in his favor. But Islam is something special.
The ground, this shit's over faster than him and fucking Charles Oliveira. What the fuck you talking about? If this fight hits the ground, I don't think he gets up until the fucking ref helps him up. That's what I think. Like all these other guys, I think they've got way more quality on the ground than he does. But on the feet, 100%, I agree. He's difficult. The movement, the speed, the way he kicks that oblique with that front thigh kick, to the knee, all those things, yeah, that's a problem. But I want to go back to what you originally said. I'm not here to bag on Ian Garry. I'm here to just spit facts. And to me, facts are, with the new meta rankings, he's not even ranked higher than Pratis.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's not even ranked higher than Pratis. So that's one. Two is, I thought that Michael Morales deserved the title shot over him. Michael Morales, the way he's been able to finish guys, the way that he's still undefeated. To me, there was more. He's huge in size. He can wrestle a little bit. Plus, he's got power. I looked at that fight as being more.
Islam fight once a year. Fight Ian Garry. That's going to be a sick fight. Sick fight.
I've seen with Ian Garry, he's a guy that can get it done. Islam is one of the greatest to ever do it in this game. He's dominant in his field, and now he's at welterweight. Against JDM, I thought JDM scrambling would give him problems, but nah, he didn't. Another one of those ones where it's like destiny. A guy like Ian Machado, who's come up, had this dream. He's been saying, I'm the future, and now the future is here. So will he get it done?
Ian should get the Islam fight. You think he can beat him?
No, I think Islam will get him down, and I think Islam will probably submit him. Like, if you look where Shavkat had Ian, people can get to him, and if someone like Islam gets to him, it would be a long night for Ian. But Ian's very tricky. He's very long, rangy, so I think it'll be a very interesting fight, but ultimately I think Islam will get him down and sub it.
The MMA world got hit with a major piece of news recently, and the sport has not stopped talking about it since. Islam Makhachev, the reigning lightweight champion, has reportedly been studying the game of Ian Machado Garry very closely, and when a champion of Islam's caliber starts paying extra attention to a specific opponent, you know something serious is brewing. What started as quiet conversations in training gyms and a few posts circulating on social media has now turned into one of the hottest topics in combat sports. People are asking all kinds of questions. Is Islam simply doing his homework like any smart fighter would, or is this a deliberate mental game, a way of sending a message to Garry before a single punch has even been thrown? Could this be the opening move in a mental battle that eventually decides who rules the lightweight division for years to come? To understand what Islam is actually doing in the gym, you have to look at the details of his training, and the details are very telling. His sessions have been structured in a way that almost reads like a personalized course designed specifically to prepare for a boxer with real technical ability and years of experience behind him. He is spending long, focused rounds on the heavy bag, not rushing, not going wild, but working with patience and control, developing the kind of single-shot power and rhythm that can break down a disciplined striker over time. Then come the controlled boxing rounds with his sparring partners, where he is forced to deal with movement, angles, and counters that he cannot predict in advance. That unpredictability is the whole point. A fighter who only trains against predictable opponents will eventually freeze when something unexpected comes at him in a real fight. Islam's camp clearly understands this, and they are building him to be ready for anything. The work inside the octagon itself is equally important. Islam has been drilling his takedown setups and cage control with a great deal of precision and discipline. Every piece of the puzzle connects to the next. The bag builds his impact and timing. The partner drills sharpen his ability to adjust on the fly. The cage work ensures that the moment he pushes someone to the fence, the transition from striking to grappling is completely smooth and automatic. Nothing is left to chance. Every punch, every footstep, every takedown attempt flows into the next movement like one long, calculated chain of events. When it comes to sparring, that is where Islam's actual fight plan starts to come to life. The pad work is converting all that learned timing into sharp, fight-ready snaps that have real knockout power behind them. And the conditioning work, including uphill cardio sessions, is making sure that Islam can maintain his wrestling pressure not just for one round or two, but across all 5 rounds if that is what it takes. The message from camp is loud and clear. This man is sharp, he is fast, he is dialed in, and his hunger to perform at the highest level is absolutely real. The conversation around these two fighters gets even more interesting when you start weighing their desire and motivation. Islam has already climbed to the very top of the lightweight division and won that title. He has since moved up in weight and captured gold at a second weight class, becoming a true champion at 2 different levels. So the question becomes, after achieving all of that, does he still carry that same raw hunger? Can he walk into a fight with the same same desperate fire in his eyes that he had when he was still proving himself? Here is where things get complicated. You cannot go out there and lose when you are Islam Makhachev. The standard he has set for himself and the expectations the sport places on him are enormous. But does he want this with the same gut-level intensity that Ian Garry brings? Because Ian Garry walks into every single fight acting like the result is already decided in his favor. That energy, that almost reckless confidence, is a real factor that cannot be ignored. To beat Islam, you are going to have to be willing to go through something truly brutal to get there. You cannot just outpoint him or hope to survive. You have to be ready to take everything he throws at you and still keep moving forward. Whether Garry has that level of commitment inside him is a fair question to raise. At the same time, some believe that you do not necessarily have to destroy Islam to earn the judge's decision. There is an argument to be made that a fighter who is disciplined, smart, and willing to play a long tactical game could edge him over 5 rounds. But then the same logic flips right back around, because beating Ian Garry is not easy either. Garry fights in a way that makes you feel like you have to take him apart completely just to slow him down. He does not fade. He does not hesitate. He keeps pressing forward with a confidence that seems almost impossible to shake. This leads to one of the most debated questions heading into this potential matchup. If Islam keeps going for takedowns, how long can Garry actually keep shutting them down? Can he really stuff those attempts for 5 full rounds? That is not a small ask. Islam's wrestling is among the most suffocating in the entire sport. His setups are layered, his transitions are quick, and his ability to chain attempts together makes it very difficult to stop him every single time. The question is not whether Garry can stop a takedown or two. The question is whether he can stop enough of them over enough rounds to keep the fight standing and use his boxing to do real damage. Now, this brings up another important angle. Who has Ian Garry actually faced at the wrestling level that compares to what Islam brings? Going through the names of the opponents Garry has beaten, it becomes difficult to identify someone who is truly elite on the ground. The best grappling challenge he has faced so far might be Balo, who brought real grappling credentials to the table. There is also mention of Neil Magny, who carries a black belt, but even those with knowledge of Magny's game will tell you his takedown threat does not operate at the same level as what Islam consistently brings every single night. This gap in Garry's resume when it comes to elite wrestling is something that every serious analyst is paying close attention to. It could turn out to be the defining factor if these two ever share the octagon. One person who has been asked directly about how Islam's camp is dealing with the stylistic challenge of Garry is Javier Mendez, Islam's longtime head coach. Mendez was honest about the fact that finding a perfect sparring partner to imitate Ian Garry's specific style is not a simple task. Garry is tall, moves in unusual ways, and fights with a flow and rhythm that is genuinely hard to replicate in a gym setting. But Mendez pointed to a very important resource that the camp does have available to them. That resource is Usman Nurmagomedov, the PFL lightweight champion, who trains alongside Islam regularly. Mendez was clear that Usman is at a completely different level from most fighters in the sport right now. People who have not watched Usman perform up close are seriously missing out, according to Mendez, who described getting to watch Usman spar every day as a genuine privilege. The things Usman does in those sessions are, in Mendez's own words, unbelievable. And because of Usman's elite all-around ability on the feet, he becomes the closest thing the camp has to a sparring partner who can approximate Ian Garry's length, rhythm, and unpredictability. He may not be an exact copy, but he pushes Islam at a level that prepares him for the real thing. Mendez also touched on something else that shapes how the camp prepares. Ian Garry's loud, self-assured personality and the way he carries himself like the outcome is already in his favor actually changes how Islam's team plans their sessions. When a camp knows that the opponent is going to come in with high energy, forward pressure, and zero fear, you do not just prepare for their technical tools, you prepare for their attitude as well. That means running sparring sessions where training partners come in fast, aggressive, and full of confidence, forcing Islam to absorb that energy, stay calm, regain control of position, and turn that forward aggression into a grappling opportunity rather than a striking exchange. The clinch sequences, the short-range scrambles, the takedown chains from unusual angles, all of this is being drilled with the specific goal of shutting down the kind of pressure that Garry brings. The camp is not just preparing for what Garry does, they are preparing for the way Garry thinks and the energy he brings to every moment of a fight. When you step back and look at the full picture, what you see is a champion's camp doing what champion camps do. They identify the unknowns, they build systems to answer them, and they repeat those answers until they become automatic. Whether Ian Garry's confidence and boxing intelligence can disrupt that system, or whether Islam's wrestling pressure grinds the contest into familiar territory, remains one of the most genuinely exciting open questions in the lightweight division. Fight night will give us the answer. Until then, the real competition is happening in the gym, one round at a time. Let us know in the comments what you think about how both camps are preparing, and make sure you subscribe so you do not miss a single update as this story continues to develop.